bus safety! There are over 1.5 million children being transported by school buses each year in Pennsylvania. Each day, there could be over 31,000 buses on Pennsylvania roadways, and they travel more than 405 million miles a year. With this many students riding buses and this many buses on the road, it is important to know how to be safe both on and off the bus. Let's look at some school bus photos and see what we can find that makes school buses safe. As you look at the photos, see what you find and discuss what you saw with your teacher. When you are done discussing what makes buses so safe, we will go over some of the things we saw as well. Did you know that one of the safest forms of transportation for adults and children are school buses? Welcome back. Let's talk about what we saw. If one of the things we saw was the color of the bus, then you are right. School buses are bright yellow, which makes them very easy to see. Another thing that makes them easy to see is all of their lights. School buses have red lights, yellow lights, and white lights, and most of those lights flash so other drivers can see them. School buses also have stop signs on them, so they can tell other motorists on the road to stop when they are picking kids up or dropping them off. These are just a couple of things that make school buses safe. As we continue on with the program, see if you notice anything else that might make them safe. Whether walking to school or taking the bus, it's important to remember before crossing the street to stop, look left, right, left, and to listen for what is going on around them. All cars should be stopped before crossing the street. When getting on or off the bus, always cross the street in front of the bus. You should never cross the street behind the bus. When entering or exiting the bus, the handrail should always be used. Using the handrail reduces the chances of hurting yourself or someone else when going up or down the stairs. Once on the bus, you should find your seat right away. Bus drivers have a lot of stops to make and still need to have everyone to school on time. You can help them with this by walking straight to your seat. Backpacks and other items should be held by the student on their lap. Items should never be placed on the floor or on the seat. Loose items not held by the student become a tripping hazard for other students on the bus. These items can also slide around on the bus and cause the driver to look away from the road to identify the moving object. Our bus drivers have a very important job, and that is to get us to school or home safely. But the only way they can do this is by being able to focus on the road. As a rider on the bus, we can all help our bus drivers by following some simple rules that will help keep us all safe. Let's talk about some of these rules and see what they can do to help our drivers. Good behavior in school starts on the bus. Once kids are on the bus, they should behave the same way they are expected to behave in school. We should be trying to keep our voices low. We can still talk with our friends, but we need to use our inside voices because being too loud can distract the bus driver. We should never be standing up on the bus when it is moving, and throwing items across the seats is never okay. By throwing things, we risk hurting other kids on the bus and can also cause the bus driver to look away from the road. Another important rule to remember is anything we bring on the bus should stay inside the bus. We never put anything outside the windows of the bus. Sitting properly in our seats keeps other kids safe and also reduces the possibility of people tripping over other kids' feet in the aisles. The aisles of the bus should be clear of any obstruction that could trip another rider. That's a great idea. Let's talk more about proper seating and compartmentalization. Compartmentalization is what we use in school buses instead of seatbelts. The idea is that if we sit properly, our seats will protect us. Think of your seat as your own personal safety box. Let's get on the bus and hear more about this.
Alright guys, so we are on the bus, but what are we missing in our seats on the bus that we have in our cars?
Seatbelts!
Seatbelts, that's right. They don't put seatbelts on school buses because our school buses are made a little bit different. Okay, our seatbelts aren't in here because we have what's called a safety box. That's what I call it, our safety box. And our safety box is the seat behind us and the seat in front of us. Okay, touch the seat in front of you. That's soft, right? Yeah, that's because if we get into a crash or we have to stop really fast, because we don't have seatbelts, we want to hit something really soft that's going to protect us and keep us inside of our safety box, right? Right, because we don't want to sit on the outside of our safety box, do we? No, we don't want to sit on the outside of our safety box. All right, so we talked about our safety box. Now I want to cover more about our safety box. So I'm going to show you guys how it's okay to sit in a seat and how it's not okay to sit in a seat. I'm going to need your help with that. Can you help me with it? Okay. So if I'm riding on the bus and I go to sit in my seat and I sit down like this, am I inside my safety box? No, because my foot's out in the aisle, right?
Right.
So if this bus stops really fast, I'm going to fly forward, and that seat's not going to protect me. It's not going to keep me inside my safety box, is it? No. But what if I have a friend who's sitting a couple seats up and I want to talk to him? Can I stand up like this? Am I in my safety box here?
No.
No, I'm not in my safety box there either, because now I can go over that seat. But what if I have a friend behind me and they yell for me? They say, "Hey, Mike, if I turn around like this, am I in my safety box?"
No.
No, because if we stop fast, this seat's not going to protect me. I'm going to go over it again, right? So when we sit on the bus, we want to sit all the way inside of our seats, no feet in the aisles. We're going to sit all the way down with our back against the seat behind us and inside this seat in front of us. If I'm sitting like this, am I in my safety box?
Yes.
Yes, this is a safe place for me to sit. So why don't you guys show me how you sit inside your safety box? How do we sit on the bus properly? Very good. Those are safe riders. Good job.
Buses are designed with multiple exits to maximize passenger safety. These exits are available to passengers in the case of emergencies. Let's take a walk through the bus and identify some of these exits. The rear emergency door is one of the most commonly used exits in the case of an emergency. There are no stairs at this exit, so it is important to understand how to use this exit properly. In the case of an emergency, when an evacuation is necessary, passengers should proceed to the emergency exits calmly. We should walk to the exit and never push or shove other people when trying to exit the bus. These students are walking through the bus, identifying the exits in the window, the roof, and at the back door. Now that we have identified these exits, let's do an emergency evacuation out of the back of the bus. When exiting through the rear of the bus, students should walk to the back of the bus and sit down on the floor at the back door. Sitting down puts our feet closer to the ground. Once seated, you can slide out of the back of the bus. To reduce the chance of injury, do not jump out of the back of the bus. Now that we have discussed how to be safe on the bus, let's talk a little bit about how we can be safe outside the bus. Outside the bus, there is an area all the way around the bus that's called the danger zone. This is an area where the bus driver cannot see people. Let's go outside the bus and see what we can do to help keep ourselves safe.
Alright, so now we're outside the bus, and on the outside of the bus, we have a big area. It's called the danger zone. That danger zone is about 10 feet from the bus. Okay? When you're inside that danger zone, the bus driver can't see you. That's why we call it the danger zone. So to get outside of that zone, we need to take 5 giant steps away from the bus. Alright? Because if we're close enough to touch the bus, we're too close to the bus. That bus driver can't see us. So let's get out of this danger zone into a spot where the bus driver can see us. You ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we are outside the danger zone. Can the bus driver see us from here? Yeah, because we're not in the danger zone anymore, right? Alright, so there's a danger zone at the front of the bus too. This is one of the most dangerous places to be, is at the front of the bus. But that's why they put these stop bars on the bus. Because if this stop bar is out, should I jump over that? Should I go under it? No, I want to go around that stop bar, right? Because if I go around that stop bar, how many steps does that put me away from the bus? 5 giant steps, that's right. Now you're standing inside the stop bar, right? Do me a favor, turn around and look up there. Tell me, can you see the driver's seat? No. Can you see the driver's seat? Yeah. So the bus driver can see you because you're out past that stop arm. But he can't see you because you're standing inside the stop arm, right? Are you in the danger zone? Go ahead and step out of the danger zone. Now turn around. Can you see the seat? All right. Now we are all outside the danger zone. This is where we want to be when we cross in front of the bus.
It is not uncommon for people to drop things, but when we do drop something around the bus, we have to handle it differently. If you drop an item around the bus, do not stop to pick it up. Picking items up from the ground requires us to bend down. By bending down around the bus, we make it very difficult for the bus driver and other motorists to see us. Let's watch 2 scenarios of a child dropping an item and discuss the proper way to handle it. In the first scenario, there are 2 children getting on the bus at their bus stop. One child drops his lunchbox as he is crossing the street in front of the bus. He lets the item lay and continues onto the bus. At this point, the child can ask the bus driver to retrieve the item. In the second scenario, 2 children are returning home from school. One child drops his lunchbox and continues on without retrieving it. Once across the street, they can ask an adult to help them retrieve their item. In both scenarios, the children handled the situation correctly. Whatever we drop can always be replaced and is not worth us placing ourselves in danger. We would like to give a special thank you to Weichel Busing for providing bus drivers and buses